Same thing with all these wonderful folks here. Now, as sometimes happens with our teams, we have kids all over the country, and some are able to come here and some are not, but being represented by family members, so we will do that. By the way, all these pictures that you see being taken are going to all be on the website. We're moving our website from kind of an obscure place to right up to the Carman Ainsworth website, and so anytime in the next week or so, whenever we get this all together, you'll see all the pictures and everything you want to on the website anytime you want. Our first player is Mr. David Karras, who's going to be represented by Mom and Dad. David's wife is Erica Karras. They have one son. They live in Denver, Colorado, and he's a lawyer. And of course, loves being part of all these great soccer teams. And you're going to take David's two things, and you're going to stand right over there, Mr. You're so lucky. You'll be the first one. Rick Ellis, please. This is a really a very special night. His award is going to be accepted by 12-year-old Noah Ellis. So Noah, get your hands under it. Noah is the grandson of Steve Cushman, the inductee of the '76 baseball team, right there. Steve immediately recognized that team, this soccer team that's being honored, as his son-in-law, Staff Sergeant Ricky John Ellis, who's stationed in Hawaii, of course, with the United States Army. You can't be here, just stay here, man. Was a defenseman on that team. So tonight, for the first time in CAA Hall of Fame history, this young man is not here just to see his grandfather's team be inducted, but will also accept the award in place of his dad, who's serving in the U.S. military. No, undoubtedly, he's the first young man to see his father and grandfather being inducted on the same night in two separate teams. Jordan Gilmore, his plaque will be accepted by his mom. Mom might not be here, okay. Joey and Tom Graves. Sandy, are you here? Sandy Graves. I should know Sandy. She runs up and down used to be on the subdivision every time I turned around here. Joey's married. Tommy has one son, and Joey lives in Montreal and teaches at the university.
No, he's
Translates. Oh, cool. Okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Tony Klink. Wife's name is Renee. Children are Kaylee and Paisley. Lives in Flint Township and got histories with her high schools. Thank you, Tony. Bobby here? Oh, he had to leave. That's right, sir. Mike Way, Jim and Harriet, I think are fighting it out. Who's going to accept it? Oh, Jim gets the honor. Mike Way, his wife is Carrie. Children are Bowen and Charlotte. They live in Fenton, but Mike is in Texas having a good time at their bachelor's party. He's a financial advisor, and his athletic honor was a Big 9 second team in soccer and winning the coach's award. Mike Dimchek, Mom and Dad, are you both coming? Either one of you? Okay. Okay. Chad Marshall, whole Marshall fans. The shooting dude here. Chad's wife is Shelley, their children, Veronica and Marlo. Job histories with General Motors. Chad was supposed to work today, but he got the day off. Thanks for coming, Chad. Gold medalist in the Olympics. Oh, Mr. Rambert, oh, this is Brian Rambert has one child located in Arizona, vice president of, I'm not sure, oh, Con1 Investments? Is that what that says? Okay. His highest honor, of course, is the MVP of the team. Thank you very much. Steve Shaheen. Stephen Single, he's his children, none that I know of. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he's a salesman. Most recently at GNC in Pittsburgh. Thanks for coming from Pittsburgh, Stephen. Manager Bob Appleton, is his mom here?
No,
Okay. And our last is our captain, Scott McFeeters. Scott's wife is Heidi, their children, Ellery McFeeters, live in Grand Rapids. Another financial advisor. Well, we got some smart folks here. And his collegiate soccer career was the most important thing in sports. You guys done? Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, first of all, Terry, you're not the only short person in the room. Stephanie, thank you for talking about family, because that was where I was going next. I want to thank my wife, Doc, for being supportive all the years from '69 on to this wonderful team here represented by moms and dads, the players. Can't thank them enough. The committee and the board, we're all thankful in this room for the ones that were up here tonight, and I am very humble. I know somebody else said that. When I saw my neighbor and the athletic director, Kevin Foltz, looking up at some of those tall trees up there, and I'm going, they were monsters. So many stories came out of the mouth of Ken Domrich, but I also want to thank the athletic directors, the administrators that supported not just soccer, but all the teams in the high school, which we are very proud of tonight. I want to have, is Rod Jones still here? Okay. I can't take all the credit. I had my friend Dave Klink, health coach, JV coach. Mike Nimchek was the dad of the goalie, Mike Nimchek Jr. And I thought maybe they'd be here tonight, but they couldn't make it. But and Rod Jones has to preach in his dad's church tomorrow, so he's got to get his act together real quick. But Steph, I'm glad, and a lot of people gave credit to their parents and family members and this kind of thing, but we're one big family, and here we all have one thing in common, and that's we love sports, whether it's wrestling or softball or track and field or whatever sport we're in. Ours happened to be soccer. We're very thankful. I looked up to Larry Gall as a coach and as a fine educator and a driver ed instructor as well. I really learned a lot from him. Success comes by hard work and everything, and when you get there, I'll never forget, we were at Patty McGee's over there on Flushing Road, and we had champagne in the championship cup, and we passed it around for just the parents. And I took a sip out of it, and I said, man, I can't wait till we can get back in there and do this again. And Larry looked right at me and says, you know, it's pretty hard to get back there. But anyway, I want to thank the parents for coming. We have a lot of kids that couldn't come. One of my first Facebook messages was to Ricky Ellis in Hawaii. And I know he can't make trips back and forth all the time. We have Mike Nimchek Jr., who's dealing with some physical things, and he's in California. And his mom and dad were going to come and be with us too, but they couldn't make it. But the parents that stepped up, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody that sacrificed for coming. And I know it's hard. I got kids within the state that I swear they said they were coming. Susie Carter took their money, and we thought they were coming with other people. And that didn't happen. But the parents, I want to thank you for your wonderful kids and athletes. Without you guys, I don't think, none of us would be here, right? So we have a lot to thank for bringing us into this world. And, so that's always been a real important thing. And every member that's here and that's not here, we're very special to my wife and I. We have a soccer family, we have an athletic family, and we have a Carmen Ainsworth, an Ainsworth family right here. Statistics bear out, success pretty much here and there. We finished 19-5-1. We had 8 shutouts, 3 shutouts in the playoffs. Remember one night, Mike Nimchek Jr. was kicker for the football team as well. And I remember going over to FOH Hospital because he tackled a kid and clocked himself, was screwed up. And Chad Marshall stepped in, and so did Brian Rambert for half a game, but Chad stepped in and took over for him, and we didn't lose a beat, man. These guys are multitasking. They can do a lot of stuff. We had them in different positions a lot. But 69 goals for our team and 23 against. I'm not going to go through all the games that Mr. Lee went through. I think the thing that's important with this team, it was a miracle. Some of the last, I think, 4 or 5 games were settled in the last 2 or 3 minutes or even seconds of the game or overtime or something like that. And it's like Dick called them the cardiac kids and stuff. I'm going to call them the miracle, man. It was just incredible. And there was a different hero every game. However, the scoring leaders, Chad had 14, Joey up in Montreal had 13, and Scott McFeeters had 11. We had several with 5, several with 2 and 1, and all bounced around. We had scoring from everybody, but it was a team game, and the chemistry was there. With any good team, you have team chemistry and good vibes. Planning at one game at a time. We'd get down, everybody would be upset after a loss, including the coaches. We got over it and we moved on, and we got better because of it. So we set short-term goals, and we had long-term goals and lofty goals, but when we were crushed that night at Rochester High School against Warren V. LaSalle, it happened kind of late in the game. We still had 2 good chances and a 3rd chance that could have turned into something. But I'll never forget, we didn't hang our heads. We were kind of proud. We were upset. And we're walking off to grab all our crap from the bench area. And next thing I know, the rain starts coming down. And these guys, as a team, dropped our stuff. And they just were sliding and running around and having a good time. So I think you learn from sports. There's a lot of downers, but there's many things that are up. And I'll tell you what, this all season long was just a miracle season for these kids. And I'm really honored by the board and the committee for caring enough to have us up here. And I too feel pretty humble up here right now in front of all the athletes in this room. So I want to thank every one of you for coming out tonight and supporting this wonderful organization and club. So thank you.
How did you guys get pictures of all of our cars up there? Amazing. When I first heard that we were being inducted, I figured the committee was probably a little bit crazy or been drinking that day, because our team, I think, teetered and tottered from week to week between being celebrated in the school and almost being suspended. That's actually true. But that's also point number 1. I want to make 4 points of what made this team special. And the first point sounds kind of funny. We were not, by any stretch of the imagination, the most talented team. Not in the Big Nine, not in the state, not in the Flint area. But that's what made us special. This team had passion, tenacity, drive, grit, toughness. Maybe best exemplified by two of our defenders' nicknames. One is C Murder, and one was Mad Dog, Ellis, who can't be here. Anytime you have defenders named C Murder and Mad Dog, you're going to win a few games. And that passion, nobody would ever out-jump us, nobody would ever outrun us. We would win every 50-50 ball, and we would fight harder than anybody on the field. We wanted it more than anybody. In high school sports, it's not about the most talented team or the person, it is about the people that want it the most, and we wanted it bad. The second thing this team had that was very unique in my opinion is the concept of brotherhood. And we've heard a few other people talk about that. I was fortunate enough to play college soccer at Calvin College, small school in Grand Rapids. Good team, consistently ranked in the nation, full of people from all over the Midwest that are, high school all-state soccer players. And I played 2 years there, and going into my senior season, I quit. We were a top 10 team, and the reason for that was there was no passion in that team. I never felt connected to that group of guys. It never lived up to the expectations of what I had with these guys. And when you have a brotherhood, it's that concept of on the field, off the field, in the class, out of the class, that you would support one another, that you would back each other up, do anything for your brothers on the field. And these guys were the closest thing I ever had to brothers, and they still are. So those are the two things that I think separate us distinctly as a team, was passion and a concept of brotherhood. The other two things that separate us were great coaches that were a part of us, not just those 4 years of high school, but all the way from the get-go. So it started really with Mike Nimchek Sr. Really mentored us and created a whole team, the Carnaysworth Kickers, and molded us into a really tough team from day one, and got us playing together year-round early on. And then a really unique mixture of coaches, Rod Jones, being an All-American in college, showing us how to actually play soccer, because we weren't actually that good. Dave Klink, driving us, more suicides, running around the field, making us men, because we needed that. And PD just loved us like crazy. I mean, like sons. He just loved us and wanted to see us do well. And that combination of coaches from a very early age made a huge difference in our lives. And then last but not least, a common theme that we've heard over and over tonight is definitely family. However, I would argue our families, our parents, and our community really stepped it up a notch. We've heard lots of stories of families showing up to every game, but it's another thing when our parents hosted dinners every single game near the end of the season. We had potlucks where everybody was welcome. And it was a time where we just shared a meal, we laughed, we laid around, we were lazy, but what that did was it just created a culture and a community. And that was really special to make this a family experience, and made us realize how special, lucky we were to have this team. So I want to reiterate what everyone else said tonight. Thank you to the committee. It's a true honor. And on behalf of the whole soccer team, thank you all very much.